we've got Tales of the Empire happening. May 4th, an animated anthology series, probably of the same type as Tales of the Jedi, called Tales of the Empire, is going to be dropped, basically on Star Wars Day. Starring Morgan Elspeth, a very good character, very well-written female character. Good job, Dave. Good job, John. Barris Ofrey, that's the picture I have as a thumbnail. The only one I can find right now. Remember, she was the one that tried to set up Ahsoka Tano to be the person who was letting off bombs and stuff at the Jedi Temple. And it was her that basically caused all the trouble for Ahsoka, and Ahsoka left the Jedi. Okay, so she's in it. The Grand Inquisitor. Oh, it is, isn't it? It is. It's a welcome one. That's exactly what somebody said on the Star Wars channel's comments. And of course, we have the great character antagonist himself, Anakin, aka Darth Vader. It is going to be fabulous. I am pumped. All right, a month from today. We got a month. So it's gonna be, let me find it and I'll play it for you guys on here. And we'll talk a little bit about the Bad Batch because I was like, what the heck with it? Okay, so here it is. Can you hear it?
Years ago, my people were all but destroyed. My anger gives me strength. It is that strength I offer the Empire.
Offer accepted.
Oh, he looks like he should. He looks like.
I'm here to present you with an opportunity, Barris.
Just be glad you're not a Jedi anymore.
Your path is set, Morgan Elspeth. I will fulfill my destiny.
Mercy only breeds defeat. But I will help you overcome this weakness. Attack.
You said the Empire would help to change things.
Everything comes at a cost. My world has been burning since I was a child. You cannot stop what is beyond it.
Now you must face one final test. To join us. It is time you meet your new master. Long live the Empire.
All right, guys. Pretty cool? Yeah. I had been led to believe that we were going to get another Tales of the Jedi, and now we've got Tales of the Empire, and it makes sense they're going back and forth with this. I really like the fact that we're getting a background. Oh, it is. This is, all right, I'm going to give you a theory. This is before he faced Kenobi on that nameless moon. This is before he told Kenobi that he killed Anakin Skywalker. So you're still going to have that sort of, what the fuck did you do to my apprentice with him? Okay. In this area, because this is Vader, I think, kind of still at the beginning. It's going to be so cool. I'm like, so May 4th, I'm going to be up early, breakfast, coffee, going, watching. I can't wait. It's going to be fun as hell. So yeah, this was a pleasant surprise. And again, you should go to the Star Wars channel's Acolyte trailer. It's now up to 641,000 and blah, 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 on its way to 700,000 dislikes compared to about 189,000 likes, which is 70%, 77% dislikes. Okay. So, and of course, we're going to have people show up and go, that's just review bombing. Or they'll say, it doesn't matter. Disney doesn't care. They're going to go for woke shit. I'm going to talk about that, by the way. So we've got the aftermath of, I'm going to go into the aftermath of the proxy war now. There is it's ratioed into oblivion. It's literally as bad as the Kennedy ratio on fade in. I swear to God. And of course, they've got it so you can't look at the ratio on that anymore, period. But whoever's running Lucasfilm is like, I'm making a point. Here it is, Kathy. Okay. In fact, I'm going to go and see what it is after I'm done for Tales of the Empire, because I bet you it's, all right. Anyway, so let's go back to this. So the aftermath of this is you've got people on the left saying that Bob Iger's invincible. And I'm talking about the Chelsea James type left-wing maggot, Pablo Hidalgo humping losers, okay, saying that Bob Iger's invincible. Well, Uncle Bob is not on your side, okay? He is a politician, okay? You'd have to be a fucking moron if you actually think he believes anything he says to you, okay? I'm going to say it again, and this is for the black pills. Bob Iger isn't woke, okay? He hired these people and started going down that path because he wanted to run for president against President Trump, okay? So he started pandering to the left-wing, far left of the Democrat Party, which is, look, I'll give you a lesson in history. Richard Nixon said, you move to the right on the Republican side during the primaries, and then you move to the middle during the general election. For Democrats, it would be moved far left, and it would be for the primaries, and then for the general election, it would be at least semi towards the middle. But you know, you get a guy like Barack Obama, and you know, it doesn't matter. You know, he's gonna move everything. He's gonna move the window to the left, like this, incrementally, slowly. You wake up and you're like, I'm not allowed to say anything. I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm not allowed to own a car. Fossil fuels are illegal, okay? And if I do own a car, it's electric, and the government, if they want, can turn it off. All right, anyway, back to that. So when Bob Iger hires the LaToya Ravenos and the other weirdos, or they've worked for Disney and they're suddenly allowed to have a loud voice. Do I have to play the Raveno video again where she's like, I want to gay up everything in Disney? Or do I have to do that? He let that happen because he wanted to be president. I think he has sympathy for those people, which would be, false compassion as far as I'm concerned. If you want to know what that is, watch Bishop Sheen's talk on, it's called False Compassion, Archbishop Fulton Sheen. It's great. And it's one of those things where I don't smoke, Trenton, so you can go fuck yourself with a spiked dildo. Thank you. Anyway, I'm over the target right now. I love it. We got, all kinds of faggots that are probably not even 20 years old flying around here, pronouncing shit to somebody who's actually had a life. Me. One of these days, you motherfuckers are gonna wish you'd never been born. Because one of these days, some shit is gonna happen. And you're not going to be prepared for it. So fuck off and die, okay? An hour later, I don't give a shit. Just leave us the hell alone. Okay, Gen Z, go fuck yourselves. Because that's who it is. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so Iger let this stuff happen because he wants to be loved by Hollywood. Now, I'm going to say something else. If you think Frank Marshall's woke, if you think Steven Spielberg's woke, if you think Tom Hanks is woke, if you think, well, Oprah is woke. She's a black racist. If you think any of that, that's wrong. They are just politically crossing the T's and dotting the I's in their left-wing bio. Okay, that's it. They're not. Okay, wokeness is a thing started by younger millennials and carried on by worthless Zoomers. Okay, that's it. So this happens to Disney. And of course, Kennedy isn't A, paying attention, B, she's pandering to blacks and the LGBTQ plus crowd and everything. And what happens? Okay, so now you've got, in one of the stories today, Bob Iger, I'm going to read this to you, pandering to the woke crowd because, and everybody, he's pandering to normal people like us, and he's pandering to the woke. Okay, so Bob Iger agenda. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. So the headline is, Bob Iger, Disney's job is not to advance any kind of agenda. All right. So Biden's not woke. Biden doesn't even know what day it is. Joe Biden is a crass, amoral, incestuous politician. Okay, so Bob Iger's kind of the same way, but let me read this. Asked whether Disney would stay out of politics, CEO Bob Iger said, the company is not out to advance any kind of agenda, but rather is focused on entertainment. Our job is to entertain first and foremost, and by telling great stories, we continue to have a positive impact on the world and inspire future generations, which we have done for 100 years. Disney has always been and will continue to be a source of hope, joy, and optimism for people of all ages. But here's the pity. Here's the pandering. This is where it comes in. We're committed to telling stories that reflect the world around us and using those stories to entertain people from all walks of life. Iger said during the company's annual shareholder meeting. I've always believed that we have a responsibility to do good in the world, but we know our job is not to advance any kind of agenda. So as long as I'm in the job, I'm going to continue to be guided by a sense of decency and respect, and we will always trust our instincts. All right, so he's basically telling people like us, you know, normal people with husband, wife, kids, a normal family, that yes, we're not going to advance some LGBTQ plus agenda, yet he's pandering to them too. Okay, this is very, very disingenuous. This is what people like Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, George W. Bush, I was a victim of that, sadly, and others do. Okay, they will pander. Like, if you ever wondered why politicians on the right champion pro-life stuff, but they never really did anything about it, it's called pandering. They have to put up with people like me to get voted in, but they never address the issues. Okay, it's like we're going to lower the scale on which we run government. Translation, we are going to roll back government, and then it just gets bigger. Okay, now part of that is who runs the House and Senate. If you have a divided, the GOP's on the House, the Senate sadly is under the thrall right now of the Meyer Lansky of the Democrat Party, aka Chuck U. Schumer. You're not going to be able to cut back on what you're spending because a spending bill has to go through the House first, and then it'll go to the Senate, then it goes back to conference, and it goes from being this big in the House to that big in the Senate. Okay, the Senate is a place where too many people have spent way too many years enriching themselves. Okay, so there you go. And if you think of it that way, House members can't afford to pander as much as a senator can, okay? As much as a presidential candidate can. Okay, so there you go. When you look at like Barack Obama, when he first ran for president, he was pretty reasonable. Not to me he was, I knew what he was, but he was a pretty reasonable guy to a lot of people. And they voted for him, partially out of white guilt, because he's very good at making white people feel sorry for him because he's black. Okay. And partially because people were kind of sick and tired of George W. Bush's nonsense of not getting the wars done. And instead, we got ISIS. Okay. We got, Osama bin Laden would still be alive today if it didn't serve the purpose of Barack Obama to kill him. Okay, there you go. So Bob Iger is pandering here, okay? And it's like you're pandering to the wrong people. Hey, Mike, you're absolutely pandering to the wrong people. All right, you pander to people with families, kids, and if you've got a bunch of people from an alternative lifestyle group that have money to spend, maybe they should find their own entertainment. If they want to come to Disney and have fun, good. But there's no reason for them to have to insist in a narcissistic way that they see themselves validated in TV shows, movies, rides, books, etc. That's not how the world works. There's no reason for a corporation like Disney to pander to people like that. And, there you go. Okay. So, yeah, I took umbrage at this. All right. Now, did he cheat? Okay, I'm going to call him out. Doomcock intimated yesterday in a video conversation with one of the guys from Midnight's Edge that Iger cheated. Calling in favors and or making promises is what a politician does. That is not cheating. All right, so you don't really know a lot about the corporate boardroom, do you, Doomy? And no, it was just, look, it was just the way it is. So let's look at the vote. I can't remember what year it was, but normally it's almost unanimous when it comes to a board, seats on the board vote, proxy vote at Disney. Bob Iger's right here. He gets everything he wants, almost unanimously. The last time I think it was 92 to 8%. That's an A. I mean, that's, this time it was 69% to 31. That is not good. Don't give a fuck if you think it's good or not. If you say that to me, I'm going to say you really don't know anything about corporate politics or what's really going on, do you? Let me explain, let me educate you. You look at past proxy votes, election votes for the board seats. You look at this one. It's bad. When you've got people, other executives in Hollywood saying that, let me find the quote because it's a good one. It's this one, I think. I'll read this to you. Come on. All right. So a studio executive in Hollywood said this, and this is in Deadline. Iger is wounded by this. It makes him look egotistical and indecisive. And that wounds Disney. All the people who were passed over, the Chapek catastrophe, that was probably Iger's fault. The contract extension last year, he needs to allow the board to do its job now, the C-suite leader said. Another one said, someone needs to tell Bob no one's irreplaceable. They're looking at what's going to happen next. Okay, they're looking at what's going to happen next, as well they should. Iger is old news. All right, he's old, whatever. So what does this mean for Lucasfilm? Well, first off, I'm going to challenge people who think Kathleen Kennedy is still in charge. Here's the deal. Where's she been? I'm going to put a 1 in the chat if you know who Maris Crane is. Okay, well, I do this. Who knows who Maris Crane is? All right, I'll tell you. Maris Crane is a character you never meet on Frasier. And she's completely probably one of the most well-written characters of all time. She's Niles Crane's ex-wife. And the way she's described and how she behaves in the descriptions are amazing. Okay, she is so skinny. She's addicted to plastic surgery. She's very selfish. She's narcissistic. She's an heiress. Okay, and she's been living a lie her whole life until Niles divorced her, and his divorce lawyer found out the truth about where Maris's family money came from. Urinal cakes. Okay, so here's the question. Where's Kathy Kennedy been? We have all these descriptions of her. We know who she is. We've seen her before. But we talk about her now like she's there, but she's like the absent character, and that's why I call her Maris Crane, because everybody enjoys the stories about Maris. She's there. It's quite funny, but had you had her on the show as a actual physical character, everybody would have hated her. Okay, so when I call Kathy Kennedy Maris Crane, I mean, we know who she is, we despise her, and now she's where? Okay, so let's go with what we know. Okay, this is for the black pills like Nerdrotic and etc. Okay. She hasn't been heard from in the press since last July, even before that. She put her house, her Showplace Malibu house, her and Frank did, for sale for $18.9 million, and they were only able to sell it for 12.7. Okay, and they just sold it like a month ago. Okay, almost. When Carl Weathers died, I'm not a boomer fucktard, I'm a Generation Xer, so go fuck yourself. I really love it when these little faggots call Generation Xers boomers. Let me explain something, you little fags. And I don't care if you're a straight person, if you're some sort of left-wing retard jackass boy, you're a fag. And Generation X hates the boomers. We also hate you because the boomers created you. Okay. We also hate Generation Z. Okay. Why? Because you all suck. You all suck. Okay? So shut the fuck up and just live your lives and leave people alone, jackasses. So anyway, so where's Kennedy been? Where's Kennedy been? Carl Weathers dies, and Jon Favreau speaks on behalf of Lucasfilm, and yet somehow Kennedy is involved. She should have been the person. That's her job, is it not? All right. Now, granted, when Carrie Fisher died, Kennedy was being interviewed, and she basically kind of callously looked over the top of Carrie's death and basically said, well, Carrie won't be in the movie. And JJ's like, she is in the movie. Okay, we can do that. All right. So, there you go. All right. But that's who Kathy Kennedy is. And now where is she? So you're kind of like, oh, and here's another thing. Go look on IMDb. She's producing Twisters with her husband. Am I right or am I right? Is my memory cheating on me? Or was it something else? Victoria Alonso gets fired from Marvel for producing and being part of the production team for a documentary made by another studio. And Kathleen Kennedy is working on Twisters. Okay, think about it. All right, think about that, because it is not out of the realm of possibility that what's going on is Kennedy has agreed to stay out of the limelight until she leaves. And from what? Nah, I'm not old. And why don't you go do your barista's job, Ghost Angle, you little faggot. Oh, poor baby. You can't run across the street because you die of a heart attack because you're probably morbidly obese, like the rest of your fucking generation. I mean, look, I walk into a Target and I see Zoomer girls who literally weigh 300 pounds. When I was that age, I weighed 110. Okay. So you're all a bunch of fucking fat pigs, too. Okay. And I can call you that. I will slut shame you. I will fat shame you. You're a disgrace. All of you. All right, there you go. So, anyway, yeah, Mike, I don't know. I mean, I think now that Iger has won, albeit bloodied, battered, and bruised, that he will probably ask her to leave sooner or later. I would look, I mean, we got a month until Tales of the Empire. And then Acolyte comes out. You know, I mean, you look at the see, do I have, yes, I do have it. So let's look at the ratio. Well, there it is. They're not taking it down. They're not taking the comments down. Somebody's making a point. Okay. And I think several points. One to Kennedy, one to Harvey's former personal assistant. And do not tell me, if you support the Acolyte and you support that bitch, that you stand for women's rights. Don't. Do not. Because Harvey's former personal assistant is one of the biggest walking hypocrites on the planet. You, as a woman, cannot tell me you knew what he was doing. You enabled it and were offended by it. You worked for him for 6 years. Okay? And don't tell me there wasn't a quid pro quo, because he was the one that got her career started. She didn't do that all by herself. She's not some self-made woman. There are several pictures of her kissing Harvey's ass on the red carpet. So if you're a feminist and you support that lousy bitch, all I can say is fuck you. Do not tell me anything, okay? Because if you support a woman who casually let that man prey upon women, you are as dirty and disgusting and as crooked and as criminal as he is. You are part of the conspiracy. How's that? All right. I'm sick and tired of these fake feminists in Hollywood who suddenly jump up on their bandwagon saying, me too. You knew it was happening and you never called it out. And a lot of them took part in it. Okay, I'm telling you right now. You don't think Oprah is part of that? I've heard rumors. Maybe Kathy was too. Not a doubt in my mind something like that could happen. I've heard way too many creepy stories. And seeing it for myself, I dated an Italian film executive for a little while, and his assistant was so fucking disgusting, I had to break up with him. I was like, I'm done. Gio, I'm done. His name was Gianni. I'm like, I'm done. Over. Done. Yeah, I mean, that's what she was doing. I mean, really, Mike, that's what she was doing. But when do I think Kathy's done? We could wake up in the morning and find out she's done. Okay. It could be 8 o'clock at night, no, 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, just like when Chapek was fired, that we find out she's done. Okay, that's how it could happen. But she's not coming back to Lucasfilm. She's not getting her contract renegotiated. Now, some idiot, and it's probably Doomcock who put this out there because he makes shit up. I really do believe he now makes stuff up. The whole thing about Iger cheating, I'm like, what? He's the CEO. He probably made promises to George Lucas. He made promises to a lot of people so he could secure their votes. Michael Eisner, Abigail the spoiled bitch Disney, who hates him. Okay, God knows what he promised Vanguard. Let me remind you. You can look this up on Google. Tim Buckley, the head of Vanguard, CEO, said, and I quote, "We are easing off of ESG. It doesn't make financial sense anymore." All right. So, what's really going on? Iger is battered and bruised. I think we're going to get an announcement about, look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If we find out an agreement or a deal was reached between Gina Carano's lawyers and Disney, and Gina's got her job back, Kennedy's gone. All right. Don't care what people who think they know her think. Okay? She's not asking a lot. Now, 75,000 or more. What these asswipes want you to believe is that, and concentrate on, is or more. Why? I would give her 150,000, give her job back, and there you go. Okay, her job is back. Because Kennedy can't touch her anymore. And that's the bottom line. So if you see her come back before we hear anything about Kennedy, you can take it to the bank that Kennedy is not at Lucasfilm anymore, or is basically on what the British like to call gardening leave. That's right, I'll be back. And that's the truth. I mean, there you go. Let's go further. So if that happens, what else would we have to hear? If some movement by any chance for the Karen McCarthy lawsuit, which we have not heard anything about, happens, you can take it, maybe Kennedy's gone. Why was she so keen to sell that house? All right. Why was she so keen to do that? Everything. See, her Maris Crane-like absence from the public. We only get echoes of things she's doing, but we really can't put eyes on it. Okay, so it helps people like the Black Pill blobs, who, by the way, a little bit of advice: if you're about to get sued, you should probably not talk about it in public. FYI. In fact, the less people who know about it is probably good for you. Just a little advice. What I think is going to happen, we'll either hear Kennedy's gone, they'll announce her resignation, or if it's her retirement, they're covering up the fact that they removed her or she was forced out. And it won't be a, I'm retiring on my own recognizance. It's basically a resignation because they don't want me around anymore. And she knows that now. From what Sparrow told Cameron, she now understands that she's not wanted or needed. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna go to the store, and then I gotta go see my horse. Hopefully she'll be inside. But it's been raining for the past 2 days, and our creek is flooded, and I'm hoping I can get over that. I gotta put gas in the car anyway. So you guys have a good afternoon. Be safe, be happy, and something happens, I'll be around. So guys around the galaxy. A gift box with a urinal cake. Mike, that's fantastic. I'll see you guys later.